Anybody here?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Test, test, test. This is Richard. Can anybody hear me?
Richard,
Yes.
we can hear you.
Oh, yes. Okay, thank you.
Hey, everybody. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to give it about 2 more minutes before we get started. So hang out if you guys want to go grab a water, but come join me in 2 minutes. Thanks so much.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Actually, I'm going to go to the office then and print this.
All right, you guys, we'll go ahead and get started. Hi, my name is Brittany Franson. I'm Field Marketing Specialist here in the East Bay. Thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. Today, we're going to be going over Cole Realty Resource, a new tool that we got early in Q1 or late in Q1 this year. And so just as a kind of reminder to you guys, if you don't mind, please mute your microphones. If you do have a question as we go along, I encourage you to speak up, ask that question. If I go through something when we get to the demo part that's a little too quick and you'd like me to repeat that, I am absolutely willing to do that for you. If you don't feel comfortable though speaking up, feel free to use the chat. I will check that as we transition from section to section throughout. And then of course I am recording this class and we'll send out a recap after the class with some of the great resources and how-tos as well as the recording. So if you have to hop off early, don't fret. You'll be able to watch the recording afterwards. So without further ado, today's agenda, we are going to be talking, of course, about what Cole Realty Resource is for you. We're going to be talking about some tips and tricks on creating your farm, how to reach out. So we're going to be going through some calling, some different talk tracks for calling, emailing, mailing, so snail mail, and some social media practices that you can use to target these lists or these leads. And then I'm going to show you guys a really great tool that we have in Sales Pro where it'll help you predict your goals. So you put in what you want your finances to look like, and it's going to tell you how many people you need to be reaching out to on a daily basis. So Cole Realty Resource is an awesome new tool. Again, came to us earlier this year. It is a place where you can go and generate a farm. You can look into renters. It gives you data, not only their addresses, but it also includes for some of them their phone numbers and email addresses. It's going to show you who's on the do not call list. And it's just really a great resource to lead gen for you so that you're not wasting time and waiting for referrals and hoping that someone calls you. This is actually you being proactive and reaching out to a specific territory that you want to market in. So the information that we're going to be going through today is kind of the different ways that you can kind of sneak in without having to make really cold calls from these lists. You're going to have some information and be able to go in and take a look at who these people are and what their interests are. And we're going to go into the live demo. I'll show you guys where we do that too. You can even look up renters. So if maybe you wanted to target some buyers, there's a lot of different ways that we can go in and look at these different list sources for your list. As you can see at the bottom there are 250 plus different kind of criteria that we can put into the search to pull up a specific thing. So if you wanted to just reach out to baseball fans or basketball fans, you can actually look that up in this resource, which is awesome. So the first kind of thing I want to go through with you guys is telemarketing and making some cold calls. It's always a really good idea to role play with a colleague or with a family member if you need to before you start making these calls. Feel really good with your talk track. We do have some scripts here for you guys though. So if you're targeting sellers, you can share neighborhood news. This is an excellent way. So if you have an event coming up or some kind of community service thing that's going on, you can kind of get your foot in the door with letting them know about that. Hi, I'm Brittany, your local real estate agent. Did you know we're having a cookout at blah, blah, blah park? Something along those lines. You can also share some market data. So we have, of course, our market reports that are in Prospect Square. You can create a market report, and I highly encourage you to do this if you are choosing a farm so that you can stay up to date with what's going on in that particular neighborhood. And this is a great little mastering your matrix speech kind of spiel for you here to read through and kind of pull some pieces from so that you're not completely recreating the wheel. Of course, you want it to feel natural to you and what your message is, but some scripts here for you. But definitely once you've pulled your farm and have an idea of what the boundaries are for that, I would encourage you to create those market reports. Now we have some scripts here to target our buyers. So an MLS search or a listing alert would be great for them. Would you like to know what's coming on the market as soon as it hits the market? I'd love to put you on a listing alert. Have you got pre-approved? Have you contacted your bank? Do you know what that even looks like? Would you like some help with that? And taking the next steps in purchasing a home or perhaps purchasing a home. And then maybe having a buyer questionnaire that you have. You know, have you thought about buying a house? Do you know where you're looking? Do you know what you're looking for? The size, the style, what's really important to you? These are all really great ideas to, again, have those talk tracks with those potential leads when you do pick up the phone and call. And I will say, I know it seems kind of like an old school grassroots campaign, but making actual phone calls does work. You'll find that you'll get a lot of voicemails, but have that on point voicemail message ready to go as well until they save your phone number, of course. Okay, so for email marketing, we have some excellent email marketing in touch. So you have a whole collection that's just focused on sellers. You've got low opportunity or low inventory. You've got cheap money. You've got home sales in your area. So you can grab and go with one of the templates that's already in touch for you. So easily create that email, send it off to personalize and send that off to them through InTouch. And it's under, you can see here, if you go to email and video marketing, go to the collection center and go to seller marketing CB, and you have 191 templates there for you to use. Another really awesome idea, as we talked about just a moment ago, but that market report is going to come in key too. So if you've got a email address you can reach out to this particular client or lead to, you can create that market report and email it over to them. You can even kind of, change that criteria and make it what you want it to say as well, to try and drive them, of course, to get ready to put their home on the market. And then another really great idea, and I think that we do not utilize enough and we need to start utilizing, is our pre-listing presentation and our 12-minute listing presentation in Moxie Present. You could super easily pop into Moxie Presents, pick those 12-minute listing presentations. So the 12-minute listing presentation is going to talk a lot about our listing concierge orders and what they're going to get when you market their home. The pre-listing presentation is more kind of like how that process looks and goes. But what's excellent is, similar to the market report, you're going to be able to put those comps in there. So they're going to see what the house a block away went for. They're going to see what the house down the street went for. And you can kind of give them an idea of what you would list their house for and what they might be able to get for it. So those are some really great pieces that I think we don't utilize enough in all the tools that we have. So Moxie Presents, 12-minute listing presentation, pre-listing presentation. I wouldn't put together a full CMA for them, of course. You want to be able to have the opportunity to schedule that meeting and sit with them, but these are really great ways to show them a little sneak peek of what you're going to be able to do for them, and then also what's going on in their territory. All right. Next up, we have as well buyer information. So if you are going to go at those renters, or you're going to go into maybe some investment, leads or something like that, you do have buyer marketing in Touch as well. Same process. Go to the email and video marketing. Go to collections, the drop-down menu, go to buyer marketing CB, and you have 134 templates that you can use and customize. And with all different types of messages, some with images, some without, but definitely utilize InTouch, utilize your CRM, especially while you're trying to work these leads, because you want to bring them from that cold lead all the way to sold. Okay. Listing alerts in InTouch are an excellent way as well. So if you talk, you get to really kind of chat with them about their buyer wants and needs. You can go into InTouch and set them up on a listing alert. You put in their criteria, and then they get, as soon as it hits the market, they'll get a listing alert from you, which is great because when you send it from listing or from InTouch, excuse me, that listing alert will then drive them back to your website to look at other properties, as opposed to going to Zillow or going to one of the, trulyrealtor.com to look up properties. You want to keep them all the time in front of you. So sending a listing alert, excellent way to do that. All right. And then direct mail marketing. Of course, here at Coldwell Banker, we have a ton of different programs that we offer, from anywhere from the St. Jude to Real Vitalize, listing concierge. There's a lot. It can feel like a lot. So we wanted to put together some topics that you could use to target your new potential farm or the leads that you're going to pull from Cole Realty Resource. This is just a kind of breakdown of some ideas that we had. And then I also put on here the tools and vendors that we have. So directly through InTouch, you can order and send out mailers, Express Docs, of course, Deluxe Marketing, and then my very favorite, Corfact. Corfact is also the company that's local here in the Bay Area, and they are who processes all of our listing concierge printed materials. So you can access all of these through Desk. And then to social media. We have an awesome new Boost by HomeSpotter add to our listing concierge, but you can also do personal marketing for yourself. So if you pick a particular farm or boundary area that you have for the people that you're targeting, you'd also want to maybe run a Boost by HomeSpotter ad. Those run about $90 a month for personal ads. You can see here, there's a couple mock-ups of what those might look like. The one here is talking about listing concierge, of course. And then this one is about our CBX buyer locator program that we have. I put on here the dimensions for the advertisement. So if you wanted to create your own, but they do already have templated personalized advertisements there for you. It's as easy as just going in, popping in your zip where you want to send it out to. The other awesome thing about it, in addition to choosing your zip, is you can upload your list of leads from your, from Cole Realty Resource into that Boost by HomeSpotter and actually target those people. So you either need a phone number or an email address, their first and last name, and you can actually target those same people that you've got on your farm list with your Boost by HomeSpotter ad. So it's an excellent way to kind of, hit them with the email marketing, give them a call, they'll see you online. And then last up is our social media, of course. And I'm going to come back to this slide for a second. Social media, I always call it kind of cyber stalking. You could go through and just, if you're on Facebook, look up their name. If they're in that city, maybe potentially they're them, friend them, and maybe ask them to follow or like your business page. Just kind of start that conversation on the social media platform. And then when you're thinking about where you want to target, so say particularly you want to, your seller farm is going to be in, I'll just use my hometown, Livermore, as an example. If I wanted to find out where my buyers are also coming from and where I should target with maybe that Boost by HomeSpotter ad in addition to where my farm is, I can also go into CBX Buyer Intelligence, pop in a recent listing I had here in Livermore, find out where those buyers are coming from and what my buyer profile match is. And then, for instance, here for Los Gatos, you can see that the buyer profile is still in Los Gatos. So you'd want to target to your same area. But I know for a fact that here in Livermore, I think it's a San Jose zip code that's buying in Livermore. So I'd want to maybe run 2 simultaneous ads to market to my buyers as well as my sellers for my area. Okay, with that, I'm going to open it and pause for just a moment, see if we have any questions on any of the materials, the marketing side of it. And then I'm going to pop in and do a live demo in Cole Realty Resource.
You don't mind going back to the social ad dimensions really quick?
Yeah. Oh, no problem. Yep. Okay, so the web advertisement's 300 by 250, and the social advertisement is 1200 by 628.
Perfect. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions?
Yes, this is Nana Spiridon. May I ask you regarding the mailing? You said you were going to target the sellers and the buyers in your hometown in Livermore. How would you know who to send to from those buyers? You don't want to send the same thing to the same resident. So,
If I wanted to target both buyers and sellers in the same area as my farm?
correct.
Okay, yeah, I would probably pull 2 separate lists for that. So I would pull a renters list and have that separated out as my perhaps, potential buyers. And then I'm going to do a homeowner one for my seller list.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And I'll show you where you can do that in just a moment. Good question though. Anybody else got any questions?
And you were mentioning that from Cole Realty, that you're able to pull that information and put it into InTouch.
Yes, yeah.
Right,
So
okay.
let me, I'm gonna send all of these slides out to you guys too, so you have all these helpful links, but let's back out of here and let's just get into that live demo. Okay, so Cole Realty Resource is not an extra charge for any of you. It's included in your ASPs. It's super exciting that we get to offer it to you guys. If you weren't with Coldwell Banker, it would be a paid additive for you. So just keeping that in mind. Looks like I got bounced out because of how long I've been out. So let me get right back in here for you. Now, I have had 1 or 2 agents say they clicked in and they weren't able to access their account. If that is in fact the case for you, don't fret. You still have access. We just need to get IT to connect that for you. So send your field marketing specialist or your sales support administrator, or even me if you need me to. We'll put a ticket in for you and we'll get that started up. And it's taken maybe 24 hours in the past to get that corrected. So just a little heads up on that. So Cole Realty Resource, you can see right off the bat, we get some great links here. We've got some videos on how to do a quick start and how to do your Facebook marketing. So just wanted to show those to you guys as some resources. If you're interested in some additional ways to market to and use these leads, you can see Mike Ferry's even got some tips on there. So it's probably a good resource to maybe check out if you have a little bit of time. So I'm going to scroll down and we want to be in this prospect IQ, okay? And we have a few choices here. I have found in my experience that the by neighborhood works better than the by zip. I've also found that if you put in a house number, it can kind of confuse the system. So you'll see the little asterisk with what we do need to enter. First off, I'm going to go ahead and use my my home here. So I'm going to do Princeton Way in Livermore. And I have been putting in the rest of the information. So city, state, and zip code, of course. Now, if I want to pull a list of potential sellers, I'm going to go with confirmed homeowner. You can choose head of house. That's an interesting one, though, because with the head of house, it may take off a spouse. So I've chosen for today's demo to keep it not clicked on here. You can put in length of residence. So if you want to put a minimum, say you want to just target those that have been in the home, you know they're going to have a pretty high equity amount in the home. You can go in and pop in a number here. So we'll say we want to just talk to people in this farm that have been in their homes for more than 5 years. If you wanted to do renters, this is where you can choose that. You'll obviously want to uncheck confirmed homeowner and not put any length of residence in there, but you can do house renters, apartment renters, or condo owners. So if maybe you wanted to say, do a campaign that was just to move people, say, to get more space. Has your family grown over the last year? Do you need more space? That could be a potential like lead list that you could pull and just target market those with that message. Okay, so you can put in some property information, you can put in some financials. So if you really, really want to deep dive, you can deep dive in here. The other is at the bottom, we need to choose what type of list we'd like. Of course, we want to get all records. What does that mean? It means that we're going to get phone numbers, we're going to get emails, we're going to get the mailing address all included. So I'm going to go with all records and I'm going to hit search. Okay, so here I can choose to just pull for that particular street. I can do a radius search. So if I wanted to do like say a quarter of a mile or half a mile out, I can do that here. But for today, I'm going to go in and we're going to set some actual boundaries and pull a map search. So we have radius plotting. So you can still do that radius here or the freeform plotting. Go ahead and click on freeform plotting. And then I'm going to say I want to do just this chunk right here. So I'm going to start my boundaries and pull my neighborhood, okay? And then at the bottom, I'm gonna hit view available prospects, give that a second to think. And now I have 187 records. I have 187 records of homeowners in my territory that have been in their home for more than 5 years. Now, if I want to also have some more information, you can see the information you get right off the bat here. You get your address, you've got your first and last name, cell phone number, email address. You can even click on these and it'll take you to a link of the map of where they're at particularly, and then you could see which house it is and kind of do some stalker stuff if you wanted to. But if you want to add in some additional criteria or you just want more information for them, if you click on the advanced options here, you can go into, I love the age one, of course. What if we wanted to do a campaign around Prop 19? We can pull in age and we just want to click on age and hit that over and it's going to come back over here. As I said before, maybe you want to reach out to people who like maybe baseball starting and you have a calendar for the baseball games for the year. I know a lot of people do the calendar for the football. They got baseball stuff in there. So if you wanted to purchase and send that out to particular people that you know will appreciate it, this is an excellent way to find out who enjoys that. So for today's purposes, I'm actually going to include this one too. But you can see, again, we have so many different criteria that you can include and get that information for those. If you wanted somebody who likes golf or great outdoors or people who like music, maybe there's a music in the park and you're going to invite them to come out and mingle with you. You'll have, I don't know, free soda for somebody. So you can really deep dive in and find kind of fun ways to market to these clients. Now I'm going to put in the field name as the headers just so I can have that at the head, and then I'm going to hit submit. And now we have our age here, and we can see here if they like baseball, you're going to get that true value in there. All right. So we could organize this all by age. You could cut out anybody who is, say, under 65 and just target them with the Prop 19. You could target just the people who liked baseball for a particular campaign. And that way you really got a smart idea and a financially kind of sound idea, because who likes to send stuff out and then get 20 of them back, right? Return to address. You'll also notice here with the DNC. So we have a DNC. So these are the do not contacts, and it's going to list those out for you. So we've got quite a few that we can't call, but we do have, you know, if you wanted to set a goal for yourself, or I'm going to make 5 phone calls a day. That's 25 people, new people that you've reached out to a week. If you're, you know, a 5-day-a-week kind of worker. So you've got all of these here. Now to export this list, come back up to the top, and I apologize for going that fast, everybody. Didn't want to make anybody seasick. You want to just go ahead and hit all records. That's going to indicate that I want to export everybody. And then I'm going to export as a CSV format. And once I hit that, I can click download. And now I've got my CSV file. Now I would suggest just running through and cleaning this up a bit. There's probably several fields that aren't going to be necessary. You'll also notice there is no title or header line here. So you just want to insert a new row, first name, last name, you know, address or street address, city, state, zip, and put those titles in there. And then save this to your computer. And this is what you can use to upload to your InTouch account. You do need to have either or for the phone number or email address to upload to InTouch. So if you need help cleaning up a lead list, if you're not real confident with your skills with Excel, definitely reach out to your sales support administrator or your field marketing specialist. We can rock through this, clean it up for you, and import it for you as well. But I do, again, want to encourage you to use a CRM or some system while you're marketing these leads so that you can keep an active record of how many times you contacted them. You know, are they a potential buyer? Are they a seller? And put those in them in specific groups. The other thing I really, really want to hone in with everybody is when it comes to farming and when it comes to reaching out via email or phone call, I mean, via email mainly. You should be taking this on as a person-to-person like engagement. So I don't want anybody here today to take this list, upload it to Prospect Square, put them all in Clients for Life, and then forget about it, because that is not going to work these leads and get you the business and the result that you're looking for. You're trying to create relationships with each one of these people. And so, you know, think about it like a dating game. All right. So you don't want to get a mass, like you don't want the guy coming for you to be talking to 12 ladies. You want him to be talking to just you, and vice versa for everybody out there. So think about it as creating a relationship with each and every one of these. So your first interaction with them should be a personalized email with some content that's going to be valuable for them. If it's a call, you want to really make sure you take good notes in your CRM of what you talked about, or even if you just got to leave a voicemail, because a month down the line, when you make another phone call to them, you want to remember if you actually chatted with them, what you chatted about, or if it was that you left a voicemail. And the other thing is, once you have made that connection with them, then you can roll them into a drip campaign, say the holiday campaign or Clients for Life. That is okay, because you're trying to work these leads from, again, cold to sold. But I want to really, really encourage you guys to take this on as you're creating a relationship with each one of these. You're going to try and create a relationship with that, and it will yield results over time. One thing I think we don't really know and we don't talk about a lot in like sales meetings and things like that, is that we do actually with Coldwell Banker have a do not contact app for you guys. So the other idea is, yes, you see all the yeses on here. Maybe you're not so sure because this is a do not call. Do you want to check the email? You just take that email, pop it into the do not contact system, see if it's okay to contact them first. And this is just to kind of cover you and not having any complaints about you doing the actual lead gen and cold calling and emailing. And then last up, as I talked about in our agenda for today, I want to bring you guys' attention to what we have that's called the goal projector. Now, if you go into, and this is actually included in the slides, there's a link to this, so just go to the last slide and you'll be able to hit that link, but it's also in Sales Pro. And what's neat about this is it breaks down what you want your finances to look like, what your goals are for yourself, and then it's going to show you how many people you need to be contact on a daily basis. So I went real conservative with this, and I gave myself the benefit of the doubt that I'd be able to close every one of my listing presentations, well, almost every one. But so I put in that I have about $45,000 in bills this year. I want to save $50,000. I have about $5,000 in additional real estate expenses this year. And then I have some goals. So maybe I want to be able to sponsor the local basketball, high school basketball team. Maybe I want to do a big fun party or event. Maybe I want to have really great closing prizes, whatever that is, whatever your goals are. Maybe I want to go on a vacation. Pop those in there, your 3 main goals. And then it's going to give you, and then you want to put in what your average sales price in your market is. So right in Livermore, it's right around $1 million. What my average commission is, so I went a little light. I mean, 2% is probably mostly what you guys get, but we do want to strive for that 3, don't we? And then it breaks the rest down here for me. So it says how much my commission is per transaction, and then to meet my goals, how many transactions I need to have a year. So if you've ever been like, I want to make this much money, this is an excellent kind of calculator for you. Now over here, the number of appointments I needed to result in a closed transaction. So I need to meet with 7 different people to close 1 transaction. So it's, pretty, I could do better on my closing skills, I guess. And then the number of appointments I'm going to need per year, how many weeks I want to work. So I took a whole month off. The average number of prospects that I need to result in 1 appointment. So say I'm working on, and it's usually closer, if it's a warm lead, it's usually closer to 1 in 10. So again, conservative here with I need to prospect to about 25 people per appointment. And then it breaks it down here. How many days a week do I want to work? I want to work 6. And then I only need to contact 3 people or 3 leads a day, which is nothing, right? So it's back to, can you schedule out 30 minutes of every morning of your time? And I wouldn't say just mornings either, maybe afternoons, and you switch swaps, because you never know who you're going to get in the afternoon who has the PM shift at work, So you want to kind of switch up when you're doing your marketing to your leads, the time of the day, of course, but I can definitely spend 30 minutes every day, 6 days a week, reaching out to my contact list and trying to set appointments and get in front of people and offer them up amazing content and information about the market and where they live and the possibilities for them. So I want to encourage you guys, when you get the link to the projector, hop in here, pop in your numbers, play around with it, and see how much time you need to dedicate to nurturing those leads every day of your work week. And with that, I will open it up to any questions or any comments, or if anybody needs me to review anything in addition to what we've covered today. Vivian, have you got your hand up?
Yes. Hi. Thank you for the great presentation.
Yeah.
One quick question: Can you go over again how to import the leads from Cole Realty into InTouch?
Sure. So I'll give you as far as I can go because I haven't cleaned that list up, of course. But let's go ahead. So what I would want to do is I'd want to save this to my computer. So we'll just go first name, last name. All right, so I'm going to save this as a CSV on my computer somewhere. And we'll just put it on my desktop for today. Okay. And then to import into InTouch, what you'd want to do is go, actually, I'm not going to go in as me because I have too many contacts. Bear with me, you guys. Let me go in as one of my managers. Okay. So the first thing I encourage you to do is going to be to create a group so that you can put them all into that group. And what you want to do is go to the top here and go to contacts and go to manage groups. And this part is super difficult. It's really not. What you're going to do is type in the title of your group. So I'm going to say Livermore Farm. And I'm going to hit save. Now I've got a group. Okay, got my Livermore Farm here. Now I'm going to go to contacts and I'm going to click on import contacts. Okay, we're going to start an import. I'm going to choose my CSV file here. And I put it on the desktop.
Oh, that was interesting. I never knew you could do that.
And
You went to desktop from your link.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and so you can see here, I've got pretty lucky because I got it in here, but so I have first name, last name, street address, but I have column 1 here because I didn't give it a title. What's in that guy? Nothing, so we don't have to do that one. We have column 2 is our city. So then I want to target. So what it is you're telling InTouch where the information from that column needs to populate in InTouch in that field. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to take it and I'm going to say, I need this to go into the city section and hit save. Next up is going to be our state. Same thing. I want this to go into the state section. So I'm going to click state and save. And then I believe we were further out for the email. This are do not call and phone number. We'll just go with mobile phone. And I think the next one should, oh, an email did hit email. Okay. And then from that point, I'm going to hit next. And I knew that was going to happen because you have to have one or the other. So you have to have a phone number or an email address to upload this. But what I will say at the next point, I just choose which group I'd like to add that contact list to. Okay. And then I hit import and it starts the cycle. The bigger your list, the longer the import is going to take. So you will not see your contacts in that group immediately. It can take up to an hour or so for those contacts to import into InTouch and into that group. So
how many contacts are you looking at?
Your max in InTouch, your max is 15,000.
Oh, okay. But if you're doing like 25 contacts, that
You do 25, it'll probably take 5 or 10 minutes for it
okay,
to go.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
If you're doing like 1,000 or 2,000, you might as well go get yourself a cup of coffee and come back in a little bit because it's going to take some time to upload those.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. And Vivian, did that answer your question? I'm sorry, I need to put a list together that's just for that purpose. But if you'd like, I can do a short recording and send it over to you later on how to do the import into InTouch.
Yes, very clear. Thank you so much.
Oh, no problem. Yep. And always know, everybody in the call today, your field marketing specialists can go in and do that for you. There's also a way, if you're having difficulty importing a list, if you send it over to us, we can actually email it into Market Leader and they will do it for you. So keep those two things in mind. If you're coming up on like error messages or having a hard time, we can help you out with that. And then I see another hand up, Tamaj.
Yeah. Hey, Brittany, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How you doing?
Good. Great
Good.
presentation, by the way. It's fantastic. You did a great job. Couple of questions. The headers on those, when you're setting it up before you import or export the list, isn't there a way or a button you can click that has the headers that are already in there, so I don't have to go in there and add each one?
I
manually?
really was under the I was really under the impression that when I check marked the field names as headers, it would export it with it. I'm gonna have to look into that for you though, Tamaj, because it frustrates me as well to have
Yeah,
to
it
go.
would save a lot of time, especially if you're
Absolutely.
doing multiple lists, right?
Absolutely. And more than likely, it's just that I don't know how to get them on there. So let me find out. And if I do, I'll include it in the recap for everybody.
Great. And then I had another question about the boost agent promotion.
Yes.
So I can specifically send them my list, and they will target those people on Facebook, social media. Okay.
Social media and heavily trafficked websites. That's why you have the 2 ads. The smaller of the 2 ads goes out to, like, when you've gone to Amazon and looked at, I don't know, ladders, and then all of a sudden you're on a completely different website and there's a ladder ad. That's exactly the same idea as the Boost by HomeSpotter.
Okay.
But yeah, it hits Facebook and highly trafficked websites.
And then you said it's $90 a month.
Correct. Yep. No long-term commitment. So you
It's
can
just
cancel
it's month to month.
month to month. Yeah. If you
Cancel
don't
it
remember
then.
to cancel though, you'll get charged again. It's like one of those things, but you can cancel it anytime. You can also pause it and put it back on.
And do you know how many? Is there like a limit to how many contacts you can send them?
No limit on that. I will say though, so when you upload your list, you're also going to be picking a zip code to target as well. And that you have for each zip code, it's going to be a new advertisement. So you can't do multiples all for $90. It's going to be just one zip and then your list, and that's what you're paying for.
Okay. And then so I can create my own ads, right?
Yep.
Or do they have like templates that you can choose from that I don't have to create them if I don't want to?
That is correct. Yeah. So they have a few of like pictures that can be your background that'll populate with your picture, and then it'll have, contact me for your real estate needs. And they've done some research on what the message should be. So you can just use what they have, unless you have like a particular, say, program or offer that you're doing. You can use just what they have. Yeah.
Okay. And if I wanted to have my own created, could I have somebody like over in the creative department do it, like put ads together for me?
Yeah, so Design Concierge will put an ad together for you. The other thing you might want to do is set up a time to meet with your field marketing specialists, because sometimes some of us are a little savvy and we'll help our agents out with those. And if you come up short with either of those, feel free to reach out to me and we can chat.
Thank you.
Great question and great questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was that HomeSpotter?
Boost by HomeSpotter, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And then also, when you're making the phone calls, are we able to make the phone calls from our laptop?
I don't see why not. I would highly, like, if you're going to use InTouch as your CRM, I would encourage you to get the mobile app, and then you can make calls to that client through the mobile app. So you pull that contact up and hit their number, and it will track that you gave them a phone call that day. It'll also do that for text and quick text. And if you have any questions on that, I did teach a class on specifically the mobile app and InTouch and the integration between the desktop and the application, to talk about how you like put your quick texts and your quick emails together and send those out. I think you might have been on that call, Richard. I'm not sure.
You're talking about Cole Realty?
I'm talking about InTouch, so
Okay,
that you can keep
InTouch.
track. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay. Okay, perfect. But Cole Realty, when we're making those phone calls, I can call from my computer?
You can call from your computer. Yeah, you can call from your phone. Only thing I would say is just make sure you keep good record of it and what you had a conversation about, or if you left a
Okay.
voicemail.
Okay, got it. Okay, great. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
I will say, in my very early years, I did a little bit of calling for a solar company, and the CRM portion of it saved me so many times. I had a really high rate of setting appointments for our salespeople because I made such good notes, and I set my reminders to call them when I had asked them if it's okay to return a call. For instance, I had somebody that I talked to going into knee surgery, the next day, call me in 3 months. I'm ready to go, but I just need time to recover from whatever it was. I set that in my comments, set my reminder, gave him a call, set the appointment. So, it's really all about setting yourself up for success and you're going to talk to hundreds and hundreds of people. There's no way possible that you remember your conversation. So write in there what's going to spark your memory of when you spoke to them, and set yourself up with the reminders to get back in touch with them.
And those reminders, I forget, but you could
You can
use
set
In
them right.
Touch.
Yep.
In
Set them
Touch, right?
right up
Okay,
in
okay,
touch.
perfect.
Yep. Very good. Any other questions? All right. Well, this has been an excellent class, and I appreciate all of the engagement and the questions. As I said, I'll put together a recap for everybody. I would appreciate it if you could take a little time to give me or answer my little survey, but no hard feelings if you don't. And if you have questions or need help with any of this, feel free to reach out. Can set up a call for you or put you in touch with your field marketing specialist. But I think this is excellent. It's a great way for you guys to start really making some actual marketing, leaps and bounds. And yeah, good luck, everybody. More power to you.
Thank you, Brittany.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much.